What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe back with another GhostCultMag.com weekly ritual, our rock and metal news stream everywhere here on the web. The best experience for this is on most of the socials. We're also on TikTok. I'm going to try to stay tuned and hang out with all you fresh, fine people. Hopefully, y'all can see me on the gram. It's possible. Trying to make sure it's working. It's hard to tell. There we are. All right. Hey, back on the gram. Okay. Every day is a winding road, as the Sheryl Crow song used to say. We are here once again for our show, as you know. It's good to be back. There we go. Got the deck all lined up. I hope everybody's good. It is Friday everywhere else in the world except California. West Coast time, 9:12 p.m. A few minutes late, but happy to be here. Here's the layout of the show. We do the greeting. We cover the big features of the week here at Ghost Cult. Lots of action going on. Almost year 12 for us. 12 years of doing rock and metal news every single day. Interviews, album reviews, festivals and concerts. Tons of concerts we've started to cover. It's ramping up on all the tours and fests. And then, then we run down, like I said, festival news, concert tour dates, and one-off shows and special events, and then major news stories of the week, and then a little fun New Music Friday action, what's coming out this week. It's Bandcamp Friday tomorrow also. I know it's questionable how much we want to support them, but it does pay the bands quite a bit, much more than the typical. So I think it's great if you can support bands on Bandcamp Friday. If you only want to support bands on Bandcamp Friday, I deeply understand why. And then we pull out something cool from our mailbag, if you could see over my shoulder on the bed, and then we bring it on home. So good to see you. Feel free to drop us a super chat, a super thanks, anything. Buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. We have PayPal, whatever helps. We could use the help. So let's rock this shit. Once again, I'm your host, Keefe. Thanks for being here. Engage us in the chat. If you give us a super thanks or a super like, your questions go to the top, but I'll probably answer all your questions anyway because I'm just cool like that. A lot of people joining in on the gram. What's up? Get your fix of rock and metal news. Let's go. That's last week. Today is the leap year, February 29. This is kind of humorous. Jumps to conclusions for leap year. Dad jokes. That's what I've got. If you get this movie reference, you are my best friend, and I think you rule. But yeah, I jumps to conclusion, Matt. If you know the movie, you're a rock star. Also, it's time for some announcements. And as we've been promoting for many weeks in a row, we are helping promote the GoFundMe for guitar luthier and metalhead Sonia Shredder on Instagram. She lives in Florida. She makes metal guitars for metal bands, and she's a huge person in that scene, and she is battling cancer, advanced stage 4 cancer, and there's a GoFundMe. The link's in our bio. Anything you can donate will help her ongoing care. Also, just to remind you, we have a newsletter. Sign up. There's all kinds of cool stuff. If you don't have a chance to watch the show, listen to this show as a podcast, we have a once-a-week newsletter. Unless it's like a super, super rare case, we only send it out once a week to our list. The most you'll ever see is 2 in a week. We send these out, and we recap the whole week. This show, our New Music Friday list, the top stories, bands I've interviewed. This is kind of what we do and how we do it. So, Brooklyn Miss is here. What's up? She knows Office Space. What's up, Brooklyn Miss? I appreciate y'all being here. JM26 is here. So, yeah, awesomeness. Thank you for being here, Brooklyn Miss, as always. So, yeah, sign up for our newsletter. Links in the description. We're on all the socials. We're on Twitch. I think there's one person watching on Twitch right now. Again, we're on X or Threads or whatever it used to be. It's a place for drama. All the socials, Blue Sky, all the things. But also, if you want to skip all this stuff and just get a feed of just all our best content, we have a Discord and we have a Reddit. So definitely, our Reddit is growing. Our Discord is small, but a few. And both are pretty awesome. I've been thinking about doing a Substack. We're on MailChimp for our newsletter, but Substack has a lot of other options. I don't know if anybody out there is a fan of newsletters and Substacks and things. I was thinking about it, but like, it's one more platform to have to master and be in control of, and it's kind of pain in the ass. Just a complete pain in the ass sometimes, gotta tell you. So again, we're on Discord, we're on Reddit. Now for the big features of the week. And this one is humongous, easily the biggest giveaway we have ever been part of. And it's just an honor to put our name next to this thing. This is insane. So if you love metal, you consider yourself a metalhead, you want to sign up for this. This is sick. We are giving away a pair of VIP tickets to see Slayer's comeback show at Riot Fest and the whole Riot Fest weekend. Now, just to let you know, Riot Fest is not typically just a metal fest. They have metal, but they have hardcore punk, and they have some pop punk, and they have alternative rock, and they have some rap groups, and they have all kinds of things. And I went to Chicago. We've covered it like 4 or 5 times. I went last year for my first time. I loved Chicago. It's fantastic. It's clean. It's dope. Everybody's nice. And the festival, like 97% of the festival was amazing. And I had a fantastic time, and they treated the press really well. It was my birthday. Everybody kind of celebrated me. It made me feel really special. Louisa is here. What's up? Yeah, Chicago is great. You can sign up at the link in our bio. It's on our website as the pinned post. It's in our Instagram. The link is in our link tree. Enter to win. And basically, we are part of, we'll talk about them again in a second. We're part of the Lamb Goat. Metal Mike has joined. What's up, Metal Mike? Good to see you again. We're part of the Lamb Goat Media Network, where we're a bunch of metal websites that all kind of work together for advertising and other things. So basically, we are all giving away chances to win. You enter on our site. You follow the instructions to enter to win. It's random. Winners are picked at random. And basically, each website in the network is giving away a pair of VIP tickets for the weekend. The VIP experience is awesome. And like I said, it's just an amazingly run festival. And there will be other bands besides Slayer for you to see. And if you don't love it, you can always just check out the rest of the festival. They have vendors, they have a skate park, they have food, beer, tons of beer and beverage options. And it was really amazing. September in Chicago is a really great time of the year. This is the biggest thing we've ever been part of. We've done some pretty big, cool things before, but we gave away tickets to see Korn and Tool before. We gave away, festival passes for whole weekends. We gave away live stream passes a lot during the live stream era. And basically you get entries to win at Ghost Cult, but you also enter at the other networks to get additional chances to win. And then they contact you by email, and you have 24 hours to respond. And if you don't respond, you're asked out. But everybody's got an equal chance to win. The contest is on until March 31st. It does not cover travel, but it covers VIP tickets, which is about an $841 value for 2 VIP passes for the weekend. It's actually cheaper than a lot of other music festivals, considering the quality of bands. Just my favorite bands. Last year, we reviewed Riot Fest, my review of Riot Fest, with photos by my homie, Randall Hicks, Windy Brick Photography. My favorite bands last year were, of course, Code Orange, Turnstile, Mr. Bungle, Gorilla Biscuits, Quicksand, a whole bunch of punk bands, Fake Names, which is a punk rock supergroup, and Pink Shift, the Bobby Lees, Pool Kids. I discovered a lot of bands I didn't know. It was really cool. So even if you only like Slayer, when the lineup hasn't been revealed yet, it's just pre-sale tickets are on now, 3-day passes, and these VIP tickets, and they're moving fast. They're going to sell out. They always sell out. So this is huge. I can't say enough about it. I'm just honored to be part of this. Also, this is a little sad news. Actor Richard Lewis died today. Most people will know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I know him and love him from Robin Hood Men in Tights, Anything But Love, the TV series with Jamie Lee Curtis, years of stand-up comedy and movies. Guy had an incredible sarcastic wit, one of the genius comedians and actors of all time. And I'm very sad that he died. He had Parkinson's disease, and I think he was just 74 or 75 years old. So very sad. Yeah, Richard Lewis. Sorry, Jamie. On TikTok, I am deeply sorry to pass the bad news on. Yeah, me too. I was really bummed to see it. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. All right. On to some news and our big features of the week. Our own co-owner with me and producer Omar Cordy interviewed Tim Lambesis of As I Lay Dying for his Austrian Death Machine project. His new album, Quad Brutal, is out. I want to do the Arnold accent, but I did it last week, so maybe I don't want to overdo it. And Tim gave a very wide-ranging interview about how he makes music and why he loves Arnold Schwarzenegger so much and why this project means a lot to him. He's already making the next As I Lay Dying record. He just announced a big tour, which I think didn't make it into the show because we're talking about him here, and I don't want to keep double tapping the same people over and over. You were named after Jamie Lee Curtis. That's amazing, Jamie. That is amazing. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis is one of my favorite actresses of all time and also a humongous crush from my youth. You know, she is the scream queen of my dreams forever. She's still great. But yeah, Tim Lambesis, a controversial figure, obviously, for his past, but, you know, he's a pretty forthright guy these days. And I think you would enjoy this chat if you like As I Lay Dying and metalcore and hardcore. And he's talked about some of his other projects that are maybe he would like to resurrect and bring back. He has like a death metal-y project. So Hot and True Lies, man. Oh, God. And so many others. She's the best. The Bulldog is here. What's up, the Bulldog? Also this week here at Ghost Cult, my interview with Max Cavalera. I've interviewed Max more than any other artist for all his different bands. So we have a very good relationship with Max Cavalera and Gloria Cavalera. I send my love to them. Max is on tour right now with his son Igor with their band Go Ahead and Die, which is much more like a KSAD, thrash, hardcore punk, and a little bit of death metal. And he talked about that project and talked about touring extensively with them. He's just starting to write the new Soulfly. Blabbermouth picked up this interview, so you might have already seen it there, but that's our interview. That's my interview with Max. If you'd like to watch the entire thing, it is on YouTube and a podcast will go up this weekend. Blabbermouth doesn't always pick up every single story we do, so I'm very thankful whenever they do check out our stuff. I'm thankful. Max is great. He's always, you know, just very supportive of us, which is, you know, feels great. There's a guy I met as a teenager. I met him outside of Roseland in New York City. Rest in peace to Roseland, gone and long gone. All righty. Also, I talked to the Finnish group Blind Channel. Their new album, Exit Emotions, is out tomorrow or today. And, you know, kind of like a hard rock, metalcore, new metal band. Super fun. They have a huge headline tour. They're also doing a big opening tour of Europe, festivals, everything. And shout out to their fans because like they pumped up our album review that ran earlier in the week and this interview. They just shared it a lot. So I really, again, I'm just grateful. A lot of bands, you interview them and they don't even share it, but like these guys did, and I'm glad. Hey, Backstage Papi Chulo is here. That is a cool name, Backstage Papi Chulo. All right. We also have a podcast. If this show is too much for you and you want to just check us out as a podcast later, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. Some of these things already ran as a podcast, and one special podcast this week was I went out to see the Decibel Magazine tour, the black metal tour. Right after the show last week, I ran out to Oakland to see one of the first days of that tour. And that tour is Halder, Devilmaster, Worm, and Necrofire. Necrofire is a band on Season of Mist, and I interviewed Christian from Necrofire all about the tour and all about his experience in metal. He also is the founder and booker of the Hell's Heroes Fest, or the co-founder, and that festival is coming up soon. We'll be promoting it more in the coming weeks. And we just finished our contest with Necrofire. Maybe some of you entered that contest. It's pretty much over tomorrow morning. It's over at midnight Pacific. So if you haven't entered and you want to win music or merch from Necrofire, head to our post on Instagram for that. Our contest for the Slayer tickets is on our website. That's where you go to get hooked up. Be proud. I am proud. It's pretty badass. Storm's Capacity is also here on the gram. Hello. So Necrofire, man, killer black metal band if you like American black metal. And Christian was fun. We hung out, and then I saw the show was absolutely packed. and it was just a night of raw and grim black metal. Invisible Oranges. I don't know what. We're holding up the sun. I don't know what this is. Okay. Also, just a reminder, last week on the podcast, that was an exclusive to the podcast, we interviewed Bryan Beller of the Aristocrats, also of Death Clock, and Aristocrats' new album, Duck, is out now. Death Clock, he just put out 2 records and a movie with Death Clock. He's not on the upcoming Death Clock tour that is going to take North America with Dragon Force coming soon. He's out with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, but he will be on the Death Clock Headbangers Boat and future dates that have yet to be announced later in the year. Which mashup of Slayer? I've heard many. There are so many good ones. DJ Cumberbund. There's a whole bunch of good ones. Bill McClintock, right? All the Slayer jams are good. I think there's a Slayer Motown one that's, I heard it through the grapevine. That's it, exactly. Yeah, that's fantastic. Marvin Gaye and Slayer. What could go better together? Peanut butter and chocolate. I'm going to drink a little bit of my Liquid Death Convicted Melon. Liquid Death is an affiliate partner of Ghost Cult, by the way. If you want to get like a free Liquid Death koozie, you can use the link in our bio to get some Liquid Death merch when you buy a case from them. They used to give us a lot of money. Now they just kind of the gratitude, but that's cool. I'm not mad at it. I still use the product. I love Liquid Death. Pretty good. Pretty good. Speaking of Richard Lewis, also check out the Heavy Business podcast. This is an old picture of me I was on a few months ago. Hopefully we'll be on again. And that's from C Squared Marketing and PR. If you got a DIY band, if you're a musical artist of any kind, doesn't have to be rock or metal, they have free advice for you every episode on how to run your career and get better results. So you can't do better than that. You can't do better than that for free. Free advice on how to make it in music from experts. And I've been on to talk about my expertise as a social media marketing expert. I've done marketing and PR for bands. Also, being a music journalist, I have a unique take on bands in the music industry and how to behave. A lot of y'all don't know how to behave. This is the Dread Crew of Oddwood. I am not the biggest pirate metal fan. There's a couple of genres. Oral Optic is also here on Instagram. There's a couple of genres I like a lot, but gotta get me in the mood. Power metal, a couple of bands I absolutely love. And then too much of it, I'm like, I gotta scrub my ears out and listen to some, grindcore, gore guts or something. Aeon, Portal. But Dread Crew of Oddwood, we premiered their new song this week. They've got a new album coming out in 2 weeks, and they're a lot of fun. We might get an interview with them. We're talking about it now. Soda 1972 is here with the awesome Born Again Black Sabbath icon, Gravatar. Nice work. One of my favorite records, super underrated. Dread Crew of Oddwood, check out their single at our site. Also, again, Lamb Goat Media Network. You saw the Slayer contest. Also, when you see ads on our website, that's from them. You can buy advertising directly from us. I wish someone would come along, a record label, a band, and sponsor these shows. We would take some money for that and plug you. We don't ever sell reviews. We don't ever take money for something. But like advertising's like a barter. We'll take advertising, but we don't pay. We don't charge for reviews. And if you have a band and someone tries to charge you for a review or an interview, run the other way. It's unethical. But Lamb Goat also sells advertising space. And again, they were part of that Riot Fest. They're really the brainchild of that Riot Fest integration. So really cool. Really cool. Raul Nomo is here also on the gram. All right. Good to see you, Living Dead, G92, and Jesse, and Nowak JJJ. And a bunch of other people. Good to see you. So just another plug, Sticker Mule is your one-stop shop for custom die-cut stickers for your band, your brand, whatever, just for fun. Inexpensive, super high quality on the outside of your car. Stick them up in a bathroom at a bar or a club. Give them out to all your friends. We use Sticker Mule all the time. I have a lot of Sticker Mule stuff from buttons, stickers, magnets, keychains. They do shirts now, posters, flyers, padded mailers. Fantastic place. If you sign up for the link in our bio, you get $10 off your next order, and we get $10 off our next order. So it just works all the way around. I'm a big Sticker Mule person. I'm really, it's been a relationship that's worked out really well. I love this meme. I don't know. I saw this today on Threads. Find the grandma. I feel a little bad that a couple of people in this are passed away, like Dio and Eddie Van Halen, but this is absolutely hilarious. And somehow, among all these faces, Ozzy doesn't look the worst. It's crazy to me, but this is hilarious. We'll share this around later also, maybe on our gram. All right. That's all the backstory. We try to get it done in under 20 minutes if we can. Now it's time for the news rundown, and we start with festivals. We start with the big guns. How it feels entering a festival, how it feels leaving. When I find a better meme than this, I'll let you know. All righty. Slayer, man. Again, Slayer added Riot Fest. Now, I will tell you that they added Riot Fest and they added Aftershock, which we'll talk about in a second. And the press release for the Aftershock announcement from Slayer's camp said that this is their final show of the mini fall dates. Now, that doesn't mean they can't add more stuff, but that says the Slayer publicist, they would know, they're Slayer's personal publicist, they would know. They said that Aftershock is the last date they're going to play in this run of dates. They could add some more. I believe Riot Fest will still be the first one. I was careful not to promote it as the first show back, but it is kind of right now the first show back. So if you want to be first and you want to see Slayer at these couple of shows, I imagine the money is spectacular and they'll get offered to do many more. Stellarscape is here. What's up, Stellarscape? I imagine they'll get offered more, but yeah, who knows? It might just be these three. You just don't know. Again, just a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, Kerry was talking mad shit on Tom and everybody else. And then suddenly these shows get announced, which are years in the making sometimes, multiple years in the planning. So even if it came together like 6 months ago, he knew they were going to announce this. Guy's very smart. He's smarter than you think he is. Smart for a guitar player. Oh. I can talk shit. I was in several bands. So yeah, man, Slayer at Riot Fest. Here's Riot Fest's poster announcing Slayer. Again, enter the contest at our site, the giveaway, and win tickets. There's nothing to compete with, so it's just a giveaway. Here's Aftershock's lineup. This is just banana balls. Look at this lineup. First of all, Pantera had a pullout last year. Their pullout game was strong last year, but they're back this year. So Slayer, Slipknot, Iron Maiden, first time ever at Aftershock, and their only American festival date in the fall. Motley Crue, that's your headliners. Your second rung of headliners, Pantera. So Pantera and then Slayer on that first day of Aftershock. Five Finger Death Punch, Judas Priest, Disturbed, other bands playing the fest of main repute. Grandson, Mastodon, Lorna Shore, Flogging Molly, Drain, Static X, Darren Mulcahy's Scars on Broadway. So, you know, System of a Down's got a handful of things this spring and then nothing planned after. Tom Morello solo on the Dolo, Insane Clown Posse, Code Orange, The Homies, Bayside, Horror, Tech Nine, Southson, Shadows Fall, Fear Factory, Hailstorm, Cypress Hill, Rise Against, Architects, Clutch, Anthrax, Dropkick Murphys, Ministry, Filter, Breaking Benjamin, Evanescence, Cold Chamber. So it's a pretty Seven Dust Orgy. It's a pretty sick lineup. Just that, Rival Sons, just that. From Ashes to New. What a lineup. Gel, Sloth Thrust. That's pretty great. Aftershock tickets are on sale now. You can get passes. I think Mika's Murder is here. What's up, Mika's Murder? Good to see you. I miss your band. If you are the actual Mika's Murder band, I miss your band. I was at your very last show at some basement in Brooklyn. I think it was Brooklyn Bazaar, also now closed and gone. And your guitar player had a broken leg and people moshed right into him and moshed him into the drum set and kicked over the drum set. It looked like WWE. It was crazy. And I know I'm dating myself by saying WWE. Check out Mika's Murder, killer band. Also, Inferno Festival is right around the corner, just about 3 weeks away, 3-4 weeks from now in Oslo, Norway. The venerable death metal, black metal, extreme metal Festival. The lineup this year is just bananas, and they announced some additional parts of the festival I think you should check out. Obviously, we mentioned that festival: Campfire, Dimmu Borgir, Gorgoroth, Take, Solstafir, My Loves, Carpathian Forest, Fintroll, Cynic, Cattle Decap, Me and That Man, Orbit Culture. So many good bands, but they've also announced an art exhibition with some of the greatest artists who make album covers and videos in the world. Zbigniew Biliak, Kostin Chirono, I can never say his name, I'm sorry. Kim Deas Holm, Nick Morte, just a fantastic group of artists. I've met some of these artists at other music festivals and metal festivals. Fuck Church is here on the gram. Hello, Fuck Church. The Horrible Drummer is also here. The Horrible Drummer. Dave is here. Hi, Dave. Just Dave. Just plain old Dave. In addition, at Inferno Festival, a friend to Ghost Cult and probably known to you as the actress from Orange is the New Black, but also metal artist extraordinaire, Jessica Pimentel, is going to be in a one-on-one conversation. Inferno not only has a huge music festival and this cultural exchange where you go around Norway and you look at all the churches, the black metal bands burned, and you go to Helvete, which is where the Black Circle store was, the Black Circle club was. Frizzaloo Miloof is here. And Jessica's going to be in a conversation with Aaron Lynch, who's an infamous and great band manager out there in that part of the world. And, you know, Jessica, in addition to being an acclaimed actress of stage, small screen, and movies, Jessica is a vocalist with Brujeria. She has her own bands, Alakeen's Gun and Blackheart Sutra. And I think if her acting career ever slowed down, she would have no problem getting a major record deal in no time with her metal bands. And Alakeen's Guns are homies to me. I go way back with them. So I know Jessica for a very long time, before she was a big star. Same as she ever was. It's wonderful to see a person who is who they stay the same, even though they get fame. It's pretty impressive. So she's going to be featured in conversation there. And she shared our post about this, which I was also really pleased. Really nice. Also, Milwaukee Metalfest has added a bunch of new bands. I mean, this thing is just getting out of control. The pre-party is just getting insane. And yeah, like Milwaukee Metalfest, this is going to become an annual. Like, I'm so glad it came back. Shout out to JB Josta, who's really the person behind. He bought the brand from the original owners, and he brought it back last year. And yeah, this thing looks phenomenal. There's a pre-party, Josta and Friends with Toxic Ruin and some other bands. And the list of people we're going to play with just Josta and Friends also looks crazy. Just absolutely crazy. I'm a little parched. All right. Arctangent announced their full lineup. They had, had a partial lineup out as of now. We'll just talk briefly about some of these bands. The list is insane. 4 days, Explosions in the Sky, Clowncore, Baroness, first time ever at Arctangent, Amun Ra, Red Fang, Julie Christmas, Textures, Conan, Author and Punisher, Meshuggah, Animals as Leaders, Pliny, Isan, Three Trapped Tigers, Psy, Mogwai, Electric Wizard, and So I Watch You From Afar, Caspian, Brontide, Slift, Scalar, Bosk, Hex Vessel, Ken Mode, Imperial Triumphant, Bosk. Again, I think the pre-party has a Cobra the Impaler, Curse These Metal Hands, just crazy. Just a Hidden Mothers. We love Hidden Mothers here. Psychonaut, LLNN, which is another band we are big fans of, avant-garde band. Taubernaut band is here. Hello, Taubernaut. Good to see you. So Arctangent Fest takes place August 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th of 2024 in Bristol, UK, which is near London, I believe. Another UK festival is the Supersonic Festival. This is a little more avant-garde and alternative metal, but also some extreme metal. Bonnie Prince Billy, Gazelle Twin, Emma Ruth Rundle, huge fans. The Body and Disfig just put out a collaborative EP. Agriculture, huge fans of them, kind of black and grindcore. And so many more. Mary Lattimore, Melt Banana, One Leg, One Eye, Oxen, Smote, The Shits, Upchuck, and many more artists to yet be announced. I like the little unicorn with the radar horn as their logo. It's really cool. It's a very cool festival poster designs. Very, very 60s, 70s. Also, one more for the Europe. The Takedown Festival is taking place out there. I suppose sponsored by Laney Amps and Total Rock, which is a website out in Europe. Creeper, Cassette, Dream State, Dinosaur Pileup, Hell is for Heroes, Kid Capici, might be getting an interview soon with him. TerraVision, Trophy Eyes, Stone Broken, big fans of theirs. Graphic Nature, Pupil Slicer, Earn, just so many killer bands. Snakes, just fun times. Kid Bookie did a song with Corey Taylor already once. Pretty cool lineup. A lot of great festivals getting announced for Europe and the UK. Here is one for the States. This is the Northwest Terror Fest has announced their full lineup of bands, new additions for the Friday lineup. There are less than 53-day passes left for the fest as of a couple of days ago. This is in Seattle, taking place at the legendary Numos and the Barboza Club. Abyssial and Apura, Colony Drop, Crip Sermon, The Homies, Eternal Champion, Forbidden, Grave Infestation, Mesa, one of the greatest stoner doom bands in the world right there, Mutant, great synth industrial artist, Physical Wash, Summerlands, fantastic band, Undulation, and Bore. Northwest Terror Fest. Here's another one for the USA. Furnace Fest continues to just drop bands, dropping a few bands here and there if you like the hardcore, punchy, fighty. Emery and He Is Legend have announced exclusive sets at Furnace Fest. They will then drop their full lineup at some point, but they have yet to. We're going to get it soon. I just want to also let you know we've been talking a lot about the No Values Festival, and they are sold out of general admission, low inventory on the second tier, some values. GA regular is partially still there, so there's like 2 levels of GA. I think it's meant to be GA Plus is still available, and VIP low inventory. Now, this is in Pomona in June. Misfits first show announced for this year. Social D, not a huge fan, but okay. Iggy Pop, Turnstile, Bad Religion, Sublime with Bradley Noel's son. Dillinger Escape Plan not doing an anniversary set, but with Dimitri. Power Trip, we'll talk about them in a second. The Damned, one more band to be announced. Joyce Manor, Suicidal, Vandals, Black Flag, T-Saw, got an interview coming up soon with them. Viagra Boys, Ceremony, Jesus Lizard, Fiddler, Exploited, Fear, L7, Dickies, Adolescence, Fishbone, Aquabats. This is just bananas. We might get to cover it, so I'm hopeful that we will get picked to go choose it. Epic Down is here. Hello, Epic Down. Good to see you. Thanks for joining our Rock and Metal News Show. We're blasting through the music festivals. We're almost done with music festivals and events, and then we're on to the concerts and tours, and further on to the show. So that's our tangent. I'm a little behind here. Okay. Rock for Ronnie is the annual fundraiser concert. There's usually 2 or 3 Ronnie James Dio affiliated cancer charity fundraising events. The Rock for Ronnie is the concert, headlined by Quiet Riot, who, of course, their leader and drummer Frankie Benali died a couple of years ago from cancer also. This looks pretty great. Dio Disciples, Lita Ford, who is returning to the festival. She has headlined it before. This is taking place coming up in May, right before Memorial Day weekend. Also Capulet Fest. We told you last week they announced August Burns Red as the first headliner. They have now announced a few more bands, including Bless the Fall, Until I Wake, Red, Adelita's Way, Hollow Front, Impending Doom. It Dies Today has been, good to see them back doing stuff. Horizon Theory, Senses Fail, Taproot, Cold, Alisana. So really, really cool. Lightworker. That's at the Thompson Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut. I believe last year it fell at the very beginning of July. This year it is right at the end of June 28th, 29th, and 30th. Testing the Details. Howdy, and how you doing? Good to see you. We're doing the thing. We're doing the Rock and Metal News live stream show. Good to see you. Testing the Details. Testing the Details arguably my favorite punk rock record of 2023. My favorite punk rock record so far for 2024 just came out so far. It's a long year, but yeah, very excited. Check out Testing the Details. All right, so looks like that's a tour. Barbeau Metal Fest. I think this is in France. I'm deeply sorry if I said that wrong. This is over the summer in France. Burning Witches, Crossplane, Holy Mother, Octane, Heathen, who I absolutely love, exclusive performance, Gamma Bomb, Dust Bolt, High Raise, great melodic death metal band, Shrapnel, back from I don't know where, Antagonism, Antares, Tenwork, and more. Pretty great. And then, yeah, I think we've got a few more. Let's see. There's been a bunch of band submissions. So if you have a band and you want to play some of these festivals, you can submit to play them, and you might get chosen and make a little bit of money to come play these festivals. I think they're all pretty. We don't. I know there's been a lot of stuff that's been not run well, but we try to promote things that are positive for bands. So Tennessee Metal Devastation Fest takes place in Eastern Tennessee. I think it's their 4th or 5th one. And our homies in Casket Robbery have been the headliner the last couple of years, as well as Summoner Circle, 2 killer underground American bands in the metal scene. Pretty good festival by all accounts. It's kind of funny. The town gave them the permits and took their money and then tried to shut them down. That make a lot of sense to me, but okay. Also, New Jersey Metal Fest 9. Submissions open this Saturday. If you're watching this, not live, but if you're watching live, Saturday. And information, you can freeze the video and watch to get the information. Or look them up, NJ Metal Fest. Also, Beachlife Festival is usually like alternative rock. It's a bigger rock names, not so metal. But one thing that Beachlife has is the Speakeasy Stage, where a lot of punk legends do acoustic sets. And I'm a sucker for this. It's not like shitty. It's always great. And, you should, you need some variety. You can't just go to this festival and just get inundated the entire way with no variation. That's boring. The Speakeasy Stage is Warren Fitzgerald of the Vandals, Mixmaster Mike from Beastie Boys, Jen Pop from the Bomb Pops, great band, Kevin Seconds of 7 Seconds, John Snodgrass, Scott Reynolds of All, Chase Petra, It's Okay, Asiatica, and Saxon Weiss. There's a pretty great lineup. Beachlife Festival is May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. May the 4th be with you. Other things, the Bay Area Metal Fest in Livermore. It's just outside the Bay Area here, Pine Street Bar with a bunch of killer locals, including Perfect Warfare, Cultural Warfare, and Hellheart, and a few other bands I have personally seen live, Short Fused. So pretty cool. And that's all for the concerts and festivals. Now, that's all for the festivals and the big one-offs. Now for the big tours. This is pretty thick. This is a girthy one. Power Trip, we mentioned him briefly a few seconds ago for the No Values Festival. Power Trip has added 2 more shows. It's possible they're going to add additional shows. Again, I know people are up in their feelings about Power Trip right now, coming back with the singer from Fugitive, but I feel like this is a good thing. It seems like they're doing the one festival, and so far, Dallas, hometown show, and the Knockdown Center in New York City in August. I feel like maybe there'll be some additional ones added. So far, I'm good with this. Let me know how you feel about the return of Power Trip and if you're okay with it. I feel like bands are allowed to come back. Somebody passed away, somebody left the band, somebody died. You can bring the band back. It's okay. And what a cool poster this is, by the way. Front 242 has announced the Blackout Tour. These are their final tour dates ever for 2024 and 2025. I do believe in addition to this, they have dates in the spring. This is not a complete list of dates here, but they're definitely playing Las Vegas and Sick New World in April as an exclusive, and they have some other dates here. So this is the last chance to ever see them. If you've never seen them, I saw them one time in the early 90s. They're super fun. kind of the precursor to, like, right in between Rammstein and Killing Joke, or Killing Joke and Rammstein, that in between that zone. Yeah, Brooklyn Miss, thank you for commenting there. Also last week we told you Alcest was coming back. Alcest was coming back with a new album. Now we have Alcest on tour. Alcest has announced a huge tour, and this is the Le Chance de l'Amour tour. No direct support has been announced yet, but I'm sure it will. This is some artwork from their new album, and this looks like a very extensive bunch of dates for later this year. So very exciting. Hopefully Alcest will get to America later this year or next. I am a huge fan. And I would like to get another interview with them because we've interviewed them a few times. Once in person, on tour already this week, tonight, this weekend, Greg Puciato, formerly of Dillinger Escape Plan, is on tour in the UK and Europe, brief tour, solo headline tour. He's got so many things going on. He's in the Better Lovers band with the X Every Time I Die guys. He's probably going to do some more stuff. Not sure what Jerry Cantrell is doing with Alice in Chains, other than some Alice in Chains stuff. But if he has any more solo shows, Greg is the co-vocalist of Jerry's solo band. So very cool to see Greg do his solo thing. And Greg tends to do, he doesn't do Dillinger stuff, but he will, because he has so much material of his own, 2 albums of his solo stuff. It would be fun. You know, I think Black Queen is coming out with a new album and possibly a tour also. So it's really great. Greg is really a very multifaceted, great artist. Thursday has announced some further dates. Also, speaking of Many Eyes and Tim Kasher. More dates to probably be announced, probably more festivals to be announced, but April 11th in Albany, Millersville, PA at Phantom Power, Garwood, New Jersey. I have no idea where that is. Somebody help me. And Manchester, New Hampshire at the Goat. Maybe we'll try to cover that. I've got some people in those places. Last week, we also told you that Apocalyptica was coming out with a new Metallica covers record. They dropped the first single, and now they've announced a brief run of tour dates. They're celebrating 20 years of the Metallica, their debut, Metallica with Cellos. So they've announced late in the year run of dates in the UK. I'm certain they're going to do all of Europe. I'm certain they're on tour right now in Europe. I think they're going to go again, continue to hit theaters and play all their stuff. So that's kind of exciting. I'm a big fan. Def Club is going to celebrate the release of a new 7-inch single with the Hers Collective, Fuck Money, a 7-inch split on different vinyl variants. They have booked a series of US tour dates and probably more to come soon. Big fan of Def Club. There's a great Def Club and Justin Pearson documentary. You might know Justin from all his different bands, but of course he's in Mr. Bungle also. And yeah, Def Club is fantastic. I saw them last fall and they were magical and great. And they almost didn't make the show, actually, because their bus broke down and they were almost stranded between LA and San Francisco. It was wild. And they still put on a great show. Drain has announced this insane tour. Look at this tour. Drain, Terror, and then direct support from End It, as well as different support dates from Scowl, Angel Dust, Madball, Regulate, King 9, Twitching Tongues, Mind Force, H2O, God's Hate, Haywire, Trail of Lies, Mad, Cosmic Joke, Dead Heat, and Slugger. Wow, 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 wow. That kicks off May 11th in Daytona Beach and ends all the way in Santa Cruz, California, just south of here. I don't think they're coming to my town, but maybe they're coming to yours. 2 dates in Chicago, by the way, because, makes sense. All right. Chicago loves the punchy hardcore. They really do. All right, moving right along. Abat has announced a huge headline tour, new album incoming, Imperial Triumphant, and Black Anvil and Final Gasp are all opening. Killer, this is in May in North America. And quite a few dates in Canada, crossing into the States in Detroit, all the way through the Midwest, and then over to upstate New York, and then Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, Baltimore. So pretty cool. That culminating at Maryland Death Fest. That's the Dread Reaver tour. Good times. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to try to go to this. This is just a one-off show here in San Francisco. Might be part of a bigger tour. Meth, I think last week they got COVID and they had to cancel some tour dates. Cool Maiden Picture, ex-military metal. Hello from Houston, Texas. You just got here. Well, welcome to Houston. We just did a contest that's ending in midnight Pacific time, 2 more hours, with Necrofire. If you like black metal from Houston, we were giving away music and merch from them on our Instagram. I also interviewed those guys. Houston's a great town for music. King's X was from there for a long time. A one-off show here in San Francisco is taking place with Meth, State Faults, and Dreamwell, who's has one of the cooler albums of recent times, and that's taking place over at Thee Parkside, which is about 15 blocks from my house. It is a completely badass little club. I saw a festival there once. They have great food. They have great craft beer. They got $4 Peebs, PBR. Love that place. Love it. I will probably be at this show. That's April 17th in San Francisco. I think I had a different poster of this earlier in the show. This is Attila and Born of Osiris. Both dropped new songs this week. They are about to kick off a headline tour both in the States and in Europe, co-headlining. Not that crazy about Attila. Franz from Attila is a pretty smart guy in terms of the music industry. He's a little sketchy, questionable guy personally, but he is, by the way, I think I dropped this about a month ago. He is talking about bringing back Warped Tour by himself as like a one-day festival in California or something. So be on the lookout for that. I wonder if that's going to get announced at some point. But also Warped Tour, tons of bad connotations. If you watch the TV show Succession, it's kind of like the cruise line and all the weird, sketchy, bad stuff. But anyway, this is Jen and the Degenerates. We have an interview coming up with them. They just put out their new album. They have announced an extensive European tour, and they are opening for Flogging Molly and Amigo the Devil in America, their first tour ever in America. So we're going to try to get that interview out soon. Wonderful band, killer band. UK, so good right now from extreme metal and punk. It's not even funny. So many bands. Here's another one, the Battle of the Ballads tour with Tyr and Trollfest, Aether Realm, and Dread Crew of Oddwood. That's coming here to the States. Tyr has a new album they're getting ready to put out, which is pretty exciting if you like the Faroese Viking metal. And I believe this is the last one for the tours. Sebastian Bach, who just put out a new single and is dropping a new album, has announced What Do I Got to Lose Tour 2024. This is pretty extensive. Looks like over 2 months. Looks like at least 30 tour dates, starting in Jefferson, Louisiana, and culminating on the West Coast in California with 3 shows. So very exciting times. For Baz, one of the greatest voices ever in metal. Kind of a kooky dude, but, you know, what are you going to do? Singers are crazy. Singers are a crazy bunch. One more. Sort of a, it's sort of a show, a festival. South by Southwest is coming up in a few weeks. This is the annual Technology and Music Conference in Austin. I've always kind of wanted to go. There are some showcases for metal and punk bands, but it's really a weird, random, difficult thing. I think this is a free all-day, 2-day event. The Smart Punk Records house. They did it last year. And basically just, if you can get in, you get in. Tattoos, skate ramp, live music, probably some food. Sparta, Fugitive, speaking of Power Trip and Creeping Death. The Armed, Gel, Ben Nichols, Tommy Stinson of The Replacements, Portrayal of Guilt, love them. Spitalfield, Remo Drive, Mean Jeans, John Matranga, like so from far, like so many. Jonah Matranga. We interviewed him. He's great. So many killer bands. Like it looks like another 20 or 30 bands. So, and it might add some more. I'm not sure, but this looks amazing. I wish I could get down there for this. I have never been to Austin. It's like one of the places I've never been to. I kind of would like to go. Tell me if you've been there. I don't know. All right. I just love this picture. This is Laura Dern and Cyndi Lauper's. Girls just want to have fundamental rights and services, just fundamental rights. It shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't. But okay. Time for the rest of the news. Let's do it. This is the major news of the week. We're getting to the nitty-gritty down to the end of the show. The big news of the week, the big shocking news of the week besides Slayer and Power Trip is Sepultura. Sepultura has lost their drummer Eloy Casagrande just less than 2 months after announcing their Dillinger Compound is here. We were just talking about Dillinger and No Values Fest and Greg Puciato and all kinds of things. But Sepultura lost Eloy Casagrande 2 months after announcing their farewell tour that's supposed to last for 2 years. Eloy has quit the band for, quote, other opportunities. A lot of speculation that Eloy is going to become the new drummer of Slipknot, soon to be announced since their first show of the year is coming up soon, very soon, in about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. And Sepultura replaced Eloy with Grayson Nucratum. I hope I said that correctly. I've seen him play with Suicidal Tendencies. JBH 42 Records is here. Absolutely baller. Lala's here. Hi, Lala. Thanks for liking our live on TikTok. I appreciate you. And and then Jay Weinberg, who was fired from Slipknot, is playing with Infectious Grooves, which includes members of Suicidal Tendencies. And Suicidal Tendencies is a huge year of touring. So I wonder if Jay will just go over to play in Suicidal now, which would be really interesting. They've had a long lineage of great musicians in the band, especially on guitar and bass guitar and drums. So crazy times. I don't think Eloy is a bad guy. I think he got an opportunity to be in a huge band, a bigger band than Sepultura, who is retiring. They were clearly unhappy with his choices, but it's the music business. It's not the music friendship. He was in the band for 13 years. That is quite a long time to be in a band with your friends. Also here's Jay rehearsing with Infectious Grooves, and they wrote a new song. At least one new song has been written by this current lineup of Infectious Grooves. That is Mike Muir and Dean Pleasance from Suicidal, along with Robert Trujillo from Metallica and formerly of Suicidal and Infectious Grooves. He's the co-founder of Infectious Grooves, by the way, and he's doing this little run of shows, a few in California, over to Asia and the South Pacific. And Dave Kushner, formerly of Velvet Revolver, who's also in some punk bands in LA. So they all know each other. It's pretty great. The statue of Lemmy that was proposed for Lemmy's hometown in the UK has been approved, and a GoFundMe has been launched by the guy who is behind the statue. As you know, there's been a few other statues of Lemmy. There's one at the Rainbow Bar and Grill on the Sunset Strip. Yep. Oh, yeah. And Ben Weinman and Weinberg are pals, right? And so I could see no one, I think we're the only people forecasting that Jay is going to go to Suicidal, but it just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. And Jay would kill it, and I think he likes the idea of, filling in with these great bands. But this Lemmy statue is happening. There's one at the Rainbow in LA. There was one at Hellfest 2 years ago that was like 30 feet tall with Lemmy's ashes. This statue is going to be made by one of the famous Andy Edwards, one of the infamous legendary statue makers of the UK. He made the famous Beatles statue in Liverpool, and he's going to use clay from the ground of the town to make this statue of Lemmy. So pretty cool. I'd like to get out there and see it when it's built. Thanks, Dillinger Compound. I always appreciate you chiming in and chipping in. Thank you. Also this week, so a little more Slayer news. We gave a bunch of Slayer news. Obviously, again, we're giving away 2 VIP tickets to Riot Fest. Just the tickets, not the travel or accommodations. But I just wanted to stop for a second and mention that the wives of Slayer are taking front and center. Normally the wives of bands, you never hear about them. You've never heard about Kirk Hammett's wife. You've never heard about, Dave Mustaine. You barely have heard about Dave Mustaine's wife, Pam, in 35 years of them being together almost. Sandra Araya, who is a notorious internet figure, she... a lot of Slayer fans are hurt that they came back. Most people are psyched, and some people felt like, well, I went to that farewell tour and I spent money. Daniel Condi is here, and they felt like I saw one fan on Reddit say like, look, I flew from across the world and I spent a fortune to come from like Sweden to see the final Slayer shows, and now they're coming back and I feel cheated because now my show is less special. They're definitely not touring ever again. They will do festivals, I think, but they're not going to tour. So Sandra Araya clapped back at the trolls, and I have to read this because this is pretty epic. And you know, let's clarify for the trolls. Tom was done with playing. I have harassed him for over a year. He agreed finally, all caps. We shared the news with Slayer's awesome managers, and they did the rest. So yes, without Tom, it would not have happened. Without me bugging him, it wouldn't have happened. But go ahead with your drama. I, however, will be enjoying a few shows, and I'm thankful he loves me and the fans enough to do this. Kiss emoji. Also commenting this week was Lisa Holt, Gary Holt's wife. Gary Holt is part of Slayer. Less news about Slayer, more news about Morbid Saint. Word, bro. I love Morbid Saint. I love them so much. We gave a pretty good review to that album, I think. And certainly a lot of news coverage. I think our interview fell through, and I was a little bummed. The Dillinger news, we were talking about Dillinger at No Values Fest with Dimitri not playing the anniversary show. We talked about Greg is kicking off his, if you consider Greg part of Dillinger, Ben doesn't, ouch. But if you consider Ben part of Dillinger like I do, and an important part of Dillinger, there should be a wife calendar word. I have one more wife note in a second, Brooklyn Miss. So Greg is kicking off a solo headline tour of Europe and the UK this weekend, a brief tour. I do believe Black Queen is going to drop a single and announce an album very soon. And I'm always very excited for more stuff. I know I just interviewed Max. It went to Blabbermouth. We briefly talked about Kill or Be Killed. Those guys are all very busy. Mastodon is busy. Greg is busy. But there's a desire that they will someday reunite and make another album. Maybe next year. We'll see. After the next Soulfly is done. Also commenting this week, and I probably should have dropped it into the deck here to share with all of y'all. Jeff Hanneman's widow commented on social media that she was all behind this and, you know, loves the idea of celebrating Jeff and celebrating his music. Jeff has written most of the iconic Slayer songs, or co-written them at least, if not all of the most important Slayer songs, with a few other ones in there. And there should be a wife calendar. You're right. Wives. Okay. Partners. And they, thems. Husbands and wives and wives. Just let your spouses do the talking with their music, and I don't need the commentary, but it's interesting. It sure is interesting. And it was nice. Jeff's wife doesn't do much social media, so it was nice to kind of hear from her, you know. Trying to find a good spot for this backup phone where my Keefy Instagram is. But all right. Okay, almost done, folks. Judas Priest is having a huge global listening party for their upcoming album, Invincible Shield. They are doing a special event in Daytona, Florida, and they're doing listening parties at metal clubs around the world, but none here in my town of San Francisco. Oh, sad lip. But yeah, I'm very excited for Invincible Shield. I've yet to hear the whole album. I'm hoping to hear it. Morgan Evans is here, fresh from the studio for Walking Bombs, I think. I hope. Good to see you, Morgan. It's nice to see your Instagram stories today and see you making music. Makes me real happy, friend. Friendo. Friend to the site, former and future writer for Ghost Cult. I think we'll try to get you out to some live shows in the LA area as time allows. Pitch me, I'll pitch you. Great to see you here. Thank you for the support. Just a little update on St. Vitus. They are moving all of their previously booked shows to other places. Thank you. Hey, Travel Sizes here on the gram. Thanks for liking the live. I appreciate you, friend. You know, I heart yins a lot. Just a little update on St. Vitus. They, you know, a lot of articles are like, they're done. And I'm not an expert on this situation. I haven't lived in New York for 3 years, but I do know somebody with some inside knowledge of how the city of New York operates. So if they're willing to work with them, they'll get their license back and they'll get to reopen and they'll get recertified. If they're not going to work with them, they're going to have a hard time getting reopened, and they're going to have a hard time ever getting another place to go to if they can't keep that place. Because I speculated that Greenpoint is like the most gentrifying and ass place in New York City right now. And if you could tear down that building, which has like a 2-family house next to the bar, there's like an apartment and an office is over the bar. And then there's a Spanish food restaurant that I love a lot on the corner. If you've been to Clay Street and Manhattan Avenue, they could get hundreds of millions for like a condo there. So, you know, there might be some shit at play. Acapulco Mexican food. Thank you. That's correct. Love it. Love it so much. Ate there many meals there. Many great meals there. But yeah, so St. Vitus said, listen, we appreciate all the support. Keep going to our other shows. Keep supporting other live shows in the city, which you never hear one band, one bar tell another fan, their fan base, go support these other shows if you can't go to ours. But what I will say is they said, don't tell us rip, because we're not resting in peace yet. We're fighting. So like, I like, that's a tiny message, but an important one I wanted to highlight this week. Of course, we're going to keep monitoring this as we get more information as accurately as possible. I love St. Vitus Bar. I went back to New York City. I went back to the East Coast for quite a stretch. And my first night in the city, I landed in the city. I got off the bus from out of town. I got a glizzy, immediately shoved one into my face with onions and mustard. If you know, you know. The poisonous New York hot dog cart hot dogs. Got up to the Bronx, dropped my suitcase, changed my shirt, and went to St. Vitus to see Ms. Moore and Unrequited and Funeral Moon, I think. And I know I got a vinyl from them. I should know. And it was amazing. And I had a great time. And I saw all my friends. And I love St. Vitus Bar. So I do not want it to close. We need this place open for metal. All right, just a quick update. Green Day has joined the Billions Club for their single Basket Case off of their just past the 30th anniversary album Dookie. Kind of put them on the map. I was a fan of Green Day before this, actually. Kerplunk is really my album, but, you know, obviously, you know, you couldn't go anywhere in 94, 95 without hearing Green Day. I once took a double date to the Nassau Coliseum from New York City, drove all the way out there in traffic, and Green Day played like 45 songs in 50 minutes, and we were pissed. Like, can't you do an encore? Like, they did actually do an encore. They did the secret Trey Cool track all by myself, which was adorable. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty frustrating. But great band, great track. All the success to them. New album, Saviors, is killer. I'm a big fan. Also, This Is Knocked Loose. They dropped a new single. They announced a new album. Arf, arf, yo, arf, arf. They're coming back hard. They got a huge headline tour. They're playing festivals. Definitely the Turnstile or the Code Orange of this year. They're going to get to a level they have yet to be in, which is you know, pretty sick. Alrighty. Also Enter Arma, one of our favorite bands of all time from the DC area, Richmond, Virginia, DC-ish. They announced a new album. They dropped a single and a video that's coming out on Relapse Records. Pre-orders are live now. Really great sludge doom band, but this record is supposed to be like a little more experimental and avant-garde, but also still heavy. So I'm very excited to hear this entire thing. We have yet to get the promo, but I'm looking forward to it greatly. Also, Def Leppard, Pyromania, probably their second best record or their first, depending on who you ask. They are putting out a 40th anniversary deluxe, remastered, all the things, box set, LP, CDs, whatever you want. I don't need this. I didn't ask for this. If you don't have this record, you should have this record in your heavy metal record collections. Before they were super poppy, they were just getting popular here. Big Def Leppard fan, and I love this record, but I don't need this giant box set. But if you're a completist, you might want it. It was personally remastered by their like personal engineer, producer, and Joe Elliott from the band. So kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. You know, here's a band, you know, people cannot stop talking about this band from Russia, man. People love this band. This is Alex Terrible, of course. New song, Conflict, out now. You know, just bananas how heavy they are. Brutal deathcore. You know, crazy. You know, like you got to have a certain level of confidence to put a completely naked picture of yourself basically on the cover of this. But yeah, you know, fun band. A lot of people are hype on them. You know, I'm kind of past my deathcore phase, so I don't know. You know, kind of past the deathcore phase. Also, oh, I don't know. Looks kind of weird. TikTok is like, we're going to close you down for not being active. I'm sorry if I'm not engaging enough with you guys on the tick of the talk. I have my hands full streaming on several other platforms. But all right, looks like I saved the day. Gimme Metal, which we've talked a lot about coming back as a vinyl-only store without the radio, which we had a show on a few times, has brought back their monthly vinyl club. I do know their monthly shirt club is coming back too. Their first new vinyl club release is High on Fire's new album, Come With the Storm, that is coming out in April with an exclusive blue sky splatter. So that looks really cool, especially against the contrast of the orange vinyl. I always like it when the vinyl contrasts the jacket sleeve. This is a surprising one. So Brent Purgeson, friend to the show and channel, formerly Pustulus Maximus of Gore, had quit Gore with a little bit of acrimony a few months back, and they have announced Tommy Meehan from Squid Pisser and Cancer Christ. Cancer Christ, a band I've seen just recently, killer. Squid Pisser, killer band, and one of my favorite names ever for a band. He is going to join the band as a new character based on Pustulus, sort of some kind of adjacent Pustulus character. So I like that. They're trying him out. Not sure if it's permanent. They're going to go on tour together and see how it works. And he is not quitting his other bands. So for people who are fans of those bands, he is not quitting those bands, just to let you know. But very cool. Gore, the show goes on. The show must go on, of course. We're almost done. Frozen Soul is tearing up Europe right now, and there was a marriage proposal at their show in Sweden last night, and apparently she said yes. Frozen Soul's killer. We're going to get an interview with them soon when they get back to the States. We've been talking to them a little bit online and arranging a chat. Super 7 Toys has announced Motley Crue reaction figures. Super 7's one of our favorites. We have a bunch of them. We need to unbox some Super 7s in the next few weeks to share with y'all. They have a new limited time Ultimates version of their second wave Cliff Burton figure. This is their first ever Motley Crue 4 classic reaction figures, including Mick Mars, which this might have been, it takes so long to make toys. This might have been conceived before he was even out of the band. So this is some wild shit. And Sum 41, who is soon to release their final album, dropped another music video for their latest single. They have a huge world tour planned. So if you love Sum 41 or you love them, and you like the pop punk from the Warped Tour era, definitely go see them because they are going away forever very soon and never to return. But we thought Slayer was never to return. Gerard Dog is here. 1991, and Messican Joker is here also. I was on my way to reunite Slayer myself. Fun story about this meme with Necro Butcher, and I was going to kill Euronymous myself. Our interview with Mayhem was right before this interview took place with Metal Injection, right? So we interviewed Ghoul, Tellock, and Necro Butcher. John is very salty, by the way, and he was very funny. Our interview with him is, also did very well. But like this interview, I was on my way to kill Euronymous, like exploded the internet's brain. I think it was Metal Injection. Maybe it was Loudwire. I don't remember. But yeah, it was a bummer. It was a real bummer. I was like, man, why couldn't you say that to us? He said some other shit in our interview that's also off the chain, but go check it out. We're almost done. It's time for the mailbag, and then we're outie. I might have skipped over the New Music Friday, so I think I'm going to just read the list to y'all because it's important to me to make sure you know what records to pick up. Tomorrow is Bandcamp Friday. And this is just a small, it's a small list of the ones that are coming out. We have the larger list on our site. We've got a video on YouTube you can watch every week. We put up our preview every Sunday that you can watch, Sunday and Monday. But here's the list of stuff coming out this week for New Music Friday. And just a small part of the list, but still. Then, and March has some, just like we just had one of the biggest week of the year was last week. This week is also no slouch. Blind Channel, we talked about them at the top of the show. Exit Emotions, kind of alternative metal, new metal on Century Media. Bruce Dickinson's solo record from Iron Maiden, the Mandrake Project on BMG Music. Very excited for Bruce. Clouds Taste Satanic for your psychedelic doom music. 79 AE is the record title on Majestic Mountain Records. Hopefully I say this correctly. I apologize, all French people in the chat. Hever Lucide. I am so sorry. Say side project of Non Serviam, sort of industrial electro, black metal, noise drone. Self-released their new album Abandon. I'm sorry I said that so bad. Speaking of more French, the side project from Bell Witch's Dylan Desmond, Chateau Notre, Flatworm Mysticism, coming out soon on Cestrum Nocturnum label, synth, ambient, kind of Bell Witch without the extreme guitars. But really interesting. We have a great review of that. I have an interview coming up with Dylan next week. You can check that out. Ministry's new album, Hopium for the Masses. Great stuff on Nuclear Blast. One of my favorite record labels ever. New Year's Day, brand new album, Half Black Heart on Century Media Records. Hard rock, adjacent music. Piss Jeans, another killer band. Half divorced noise punk on Sub Pop Records, the label that gave us Nirvana and many other bands, Soundgarden and Mudhoney. Great black gaze folk metal, Soul Dusk Antithesis on Napalm Records. And my favorite punk album so far of this year, Sheer Mag, playing favorites on the venerable Third Man Records, run by Jack White. And a ton of stuff coming in the next few weeks, just tons of new records. If you're a metal fan, the eating is real good in 2024. And we have reviewed almost 100 records so far. We did 600 all the last year. So big time, big time. Time for the mailbag. And this is really great. I got a package in the mail this week from Ball Freak Music. So that can only mean one thing. This is the record label owned by Ron Scalzo, who is a progressive metal and rock artist. Has got solo records. He's got the band you probably know this is Return to Earth, their debut record. Return to Earth is Ron Scalzo and Chris Penny, who you probably know is the former drummer of Dillinger Escape Plan. Speaking of Dillinger Compound, Chris Penny was also in Coheed and Cambria. I believe he left Dillinger to go to Coheed. Really cool packaging here in the black envelope. I'm going to show you their address or mine. There's a really cool Ball Freak logo. Look at this logo sticker. I wonder who made it. Maybe it was Sticker Mule, our pals. Not sure, but really cool. Put it up to the camera there a little bit. That's my forearm. Not very sexy. And this is the debut album from Return to Earth, Captains of Industry. Little progressive metal, little progressive rock, little avant-garde, crazy stuff. If you like Callous Cowboys and Dillinger and I Wrestled a Bear Once and Spirit Box without the metalcore, you might actually really love this. So check these guys out. Eventually we will catch up to them for an interview, and very cool stuff. Ron is a great dude, as is Chris. We've interviewed Chris before too. And I think that's the show, everybody. Yep, Return to Earth. There's the album cover, and that's the show. Yeah, I think we missed the New Music Friday Chiron, the placard, but we'll bring it back next week. Thanks for being here. Some of you made it this whole way, and I'm really thankful. I really appreciate y'all. If you're new to the show, please like and subscribe. It really means a lot to us. If you're listening on the podcast, give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. All these things help. And of course, you can always give us a donation. Also very cool. As we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay as metal as humanly possible. I'm Keefe. I'm out.